Hey everybody, my name is Luke, and in this lab we are going to take a look at why router 0 cannot ping router 3. So, first order of business, let's rename our routers so that we don't get confused when we're configuring them. So let's go into router 0 here, and we're going to go into enable, configuration terminal, hostname, router 0. And then for the next one, we're going to do enable configuration terminal host name router 1. And for the next one, it's just going to be the same thing. So enable configuration terminal host name router 2. And then lastly, we have router 3, so we're going to do enable configuration terminal host name router 3. Okay, so that's done. So router 0 should not be able to ping router 3, so let's just double check and verify that that is the case. So what we're going to do is go ping 192.168.30.2. and this should fail. It looks like it's going to here soon, but as we can see, we have success rate of 0% and 0 out of 5. What we're going to do is we're going to use our traceroute command to figure out where the disconnect is. So we're going to do traceroute 192.168.30.2, and looks like it stops at our 192.168.10.2 interface. So let's see where that is. And that is going to be at our router 1. As we see some bunch of right in the middle here, so that's probably why it's not getting through. So let's take a look at router 1 first and see if we can find a disconnect. So what we're going to do is we are going to do the show IP interface brief command, and both our interfaces are up, but with GI001, which is what router 1 to router 2 correlates to, that is has a protocol down. So that leads me to believe that the issue is likely with router 2. So let's verify that that's the case. So we're going to do the same show IP interfaces brief command, and as we can see, GI000 is administratively down. So what we're going to need to do is we're going to go into configuration terminal again, and we're going to go into GI000 and issue the no shutdown command, and that will bring the interface up. And what that will do is make our interfaces all green. So that means good to go, right? So we should be able to ping router 3. Let's see. It's looking like the same one as before. And it did 0%, 0 out of 5. So let's see if we can figure out another disconnect here. Let's go back to traceroute, and it is now stopping at the 20.2, which, as we already established, that is our router 2 going in. So let's open up router 2 and reissue the show IP interfaces brief command. Alright, so as we can see here, this interface is correct, but this one is not configured at all, actually. So what we're going to do is we are going to go into configuration terminal, interface G001, IP address 192.168, and that is going to be 30.1, and that is going to be 255.255.0. And so we're going to end it again, and we're going to do the show IP interfaces brief command just to make sure that it is good to go, and looks like it is. So let's reissue that ping command, and let's see if it goes through. And sure enough, it does. It has a success rate of 80%, 4 out of 5. So the only reason why that is because of ARP requesting. If we ping it again, everything should go through. And as you can see, it does 100%, 5 out of 5. So, let's double check and see if router 3 can ping router 3, because it should be able to go both ways. So let's do ping 192.168.10.1. And that is a failure. Okay, so let's do a trace route command over here to see if we can find a disconnect. Trace route 192.168.10.1. It's looking good so far. And it stops at the 20.1. So like with router 2, let's make sure our interfaces are correct. And it looks like they are for router 1. And let's double check it for router 0 while we were at it. So let's do show IP interfaces brief. And looks like router 0 is misconfigured on the G000 interface. So what we'll do is we'll go back into configuration terminal, interface G000, and let's redo our IP address to 192.168.10.1, 255.255.255.0. Okay, and let's go ahead and verify our changes. IP interfaces brief, and it is now shown correctly. So let's reissue the ping command on router 3. It should go through, and it is successful. Okay, so why router 0 couldn't ping router 3 is because we had a downed interface and a interface that was not configured. After we cleared those out of the way and got those up and running, then we were able to ping from router 0 to router 3, and it looks like we had a misconfigured interface on router 0. That's why router 3 could not ping router 0. But after we got those things squared away, everything's all synchronized, and we're able to go back and forth between everything. Thank you guys for watching.